Mrs. Green Apple, we're continuing our track by track listen through to their self entitled album, and that brings us up to the lyric video for the song Soft Drink. I have no idea what to expect on this, but I tell you what, as always, I'm not just reviewing the song, I'm also reviewing how the album feels and how each song individually feels in the setting of the album. And as you can see, thus far, we've had 4 songs that have been, well, the momentum and energy has been incredible. Really has. These songs have barreled along. They're exciting, they're interesting, they're each sonically unique and distinct and different. I have no idea, therefore, what to expect from Soft Drink, but I will say, given that the album has had so much momentum up until this point, as I was saying at the end of the last review, it can go one of 2 ways. Either, there's the trains again, either, right by the window, either we can keep the momentum up throughout the entire album, or at some point it's going to shift and go in a different direction. This song's called Soft Drink, and it's 4.5 minutes, so it makes me think that we might switch a little bit away from the rocky direction in this one, but I don't know. Let's find out. Anyway, they did think it was worthy of a lyric video, not a full music video, but a lyric video. So that definitely means this is a song that the higher ups wanted to promote. So let's see what we get from Soft Drink by Mrs. Green Apple. Love those reverse, kind of like glockenspiel sounds. Definitely more mellow. That building bass line. It's giving this kind of building feeling like we're... Oh, nice. Oh, it feels like we're building something for sure. Another one of those songs where the piano's really punching each chord in, giving it weight. And then rather than strumming guitars here, we have more of these like finger-picking, delicate sounds. I never see it coming. The spacing's different each time. Okay, I get the pattern now. But I bet that's the last verse now, I've worked out. It's a very pretty kind of ballad. That's a really kind of nice, like, high up bass sound, very kind of raw and almost punky. Really feel the strings there. Nice build up. Nice layered vocals. Keeping us on a high note and then drop. Oh, go up. Okay. It's gonna be it. Yeah, that was a sudden ending to a song. I thought this was very pretty. Very pretty, very full of ideas. Really a song that was kind of throwing a lot at you. Once again, seems to be the quintessential Mrs. Green Apple quality. Definitely, this is the this feels like the song where the album takes a little bit of a turn. But it's interesting because although this went for a more sparse, more delicate feeling than the songs that had come before it, although this was the first song that seemed to really sort of strip away all of the electric guitars and the more strumming nature, it was still a song that had a sense of urgency to it. You know, it really felt like it was a song that wasn't just sort of sitting there lulling around. It genuinely felt like it was pushing forwards. You know, the beat was very kick, 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 marching, marching. Again, you got that thing that I mentioned about in the previous song where the piano is really hammering in each chord. They've got a nice big piano left-hand chord landing on the beginning of each chord change, and it kind of gives the song this feeling of urgency, which is nicely punctuated through a rising chord pattern as well. You listen to the chords in the chorus and they're building up, they're building up, they're building up, they're building up. Yeah, this for me, even at the end we had a key change that went up as well. This felt like a song that was delicate, beautiful, but definitely did not lose sight of needing to have a sense of purpose and urgency to it as well. It had a little bit of a breakdown, which was very pretty, but then even that came in with a big build-up, as I mentioned, to that key change at the end of the song. So this is definitely a song that feels like it's projecting a lot of purpose in what it's doing. And if I'm entirely honest with you, I have to say that this might not be one of those songs that stands out as a Mrs. Green Apple classic. You know, it's not their catchiest song. It's not the song where it maybe has the most clever ideas, but it's very effective. And I'm starting to feel like almost that is the bottom line for what this album's about. This is an album of very effective songs. Thus far, I probably haven't heard as many playful ideas as on 12, and maybe they come later on. It's entirely possible that the album might be front-loaded to be the slightly more punchy and effective songs first, and then more of the experimentation towards the end of the album. And yet, you know, it just feels like at the current moment, if the album were to maintain this ethos, I wouldn't be against it. Maybe that's because obviously I've heard their subsequent work, albums like Attitude, and therefore I'm aware of the fact that, you know, they never lost any of their ability to do more experimental things. But so far as an album, this is starting with a real sense of purpose. Each song's effective. Again, 5 tracks in, every song still feels like it's got a clear and different identity. This song certainly does differ the most from the ones that we've had already. This is certainly the standout in terms of uniqueness of the 5 tracks we've had already. But even then, as I mentioned, there are certain things about the framework of this song which are very familiar. You know, the way that the piano is layering the chords in. You know, even the certain aspects of the melody. The structure, you know, the verse, chorus, bridge, chorus structure. There is a certain sense that this album is a little bit more, thus far, is a little bit more traditionally structured, maybe a little bit safer, but certainly very effective. I would say this is definitely a good. This album so far is feeling like a good compromise between the experimental creativity and the effective hit-making side of Mrs. Green Apple's sound. I am really looking forward to seeing how, you know, based on that statement after 5 songs, I'm looking forward to seeing how I feel after, what is it, 13 songs, the entire album length? I'm looking forward to seeing how, if I still feel the same by the time we get to the end of the 13th song. I would certainly say, though, at the moment, yeah, effective is the name of the game. The album probably, I hope there is more variation as it goes on. I'm almost certain there will be, because I think that We're starting to see the album now switch into a different gear, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes and what other things they had cooked up in the year since the last album 12. But yeah, this for me was a really successful, interesting entry. It's not going to be like the standout hit that you're going to remember forever. This might even be one of those songs where you forget between listens to the album. It might not be a song that you come back round to, but it just works. Again, it has a sense of urgency. You put it on, it takes you from a place A to a place B. It never feels like it's meandering and pointless. It has an interesting sound, even if it's not like so out there or unique, and it's just emotionally effective as well. So yeah, good example of a kind of maybe a mid-tier Mrs. Green Apple song, but when this is your mid-tier, you know that your band's doing pretty well. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. Looking forward to seeing what you guys say in the comments. And until I hopefully see you in the next video, or in the comments, or in the Discord, or wherever it may be. Until then, for now. Ciao, ciao.